the bald eagle becomes the U.S.'s national bird. On December 24, 2024, the bald eagle received a title that many people assumed it already had. It is now officially the national bird of the U.S. The bald eagle has been on the Great Seal of the United States since 1782. It also appears on important documents, coins, and even military insignia. Interestingly, Benjamin Franklin, who is known as one of the U.S.'s founding fathers, did not support the choice. Franklin thought the bald eagle had a bad character because he described it as a lazy bird that steals food from other animals. However, most Americans see it as a sign of freedom and bravery. At one point, the bald eagle was almost extinct. In 1940, the U.S. passed a law to protect the creature, and the population started to recover. Today, tens of thousands of bald eagles live across the country. As the national bird, it now proudly represents the spirit of the U.S.
Today's warm-up quiz is, Tina was chosen to blank our school at the art show. A. Invite. B. Represent. C. Provide. D. Select.
You have 15 seconds to think about it. Time's up.
Welcome everyone to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
Now, Elsie, when you see a bald eagle, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
America. Okay, so it's hard not to feel amazed. You know?
Yeah.
There's something about it that makes you think of freedom and strength.
Right. Yeah.
Every time I see one, it makes me feel inspired.
I know what you mean exactly. And I mean, it's like you're looking at something that represents power and independence. It gives you this feeling of pride, and it's almost more than a bird.
Exactly. The way it flies so smoothly but still shows so much strength makes you think about what you can achieve.
Definitely. And it feels like a symbol of all the great qualities we admire, freedom and strength.
Let's read the article, The Bald Eagle Becomes the U.S.'s National Bird, to find out more about why this bird became such a strong symbol.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the history behind it and why it actually became the U.S.'s symbol. So let's find out. It says, on December 24th, 2024, the bald eagle received a title that many people assumed it already had. There we see the verb assume, everyone, and it means it is to believe something is true without confirming it or having complete information. An example would be, I assumed that he was coming, but he didn't show up. Or, I assumed the meeting was at 10 a.m., but it was actually at 2 p.m.
Assume 这个动词是认为或是假定。那通常都会是 assume 加上 that 再加上一个子句，那这个 that 是可以省略掉的。那在这个句子当中呢，我们还看到今天的文法重点 Let's take a look. 今天Language in Focus 当中我们要讲到的是关系代名词的限定与非限定用法。那先来复习一下什么是关系代名词。关系代名词包含像是 who, which, that, whose 这些字。那它们呢有两个功能，第一个是代替前面的名词，第二个是连接两个句子。那首先我们讲到限定用法，就是限定先行词的意思。好，如果先行词不够清楚，我们要加上一个关系子句来说明到底是哪一个人或哪一样东西。那这种用法呢是没有逗号在里面的。句型会是主要子句加上关系代名词再加上关系子句。比如说 They built a house that can stay cool in summer. 他们盖了一间房子，哪一间呢？来后方有一个限定用法出现了，也就是夏天会保持凉爽的房子。 那另外呢，当我们说到非限定用法的时候呢，它的重点就是在补充说明，也就是先行词已经够明确了，我后面只需要做补充说明就可以了。那我们用关系子句来补充说明，这种用法是要有逗号的，关系代名词不可以用 that， 只能用 who、which 或是 whose。句型会是主要子句加上关系代名词加上关系子句，比如说 the sun， 逗号后面接出 which gives us light and warmth is very important。 太阳带给我们光和热是非常重要的。所以呢，要再次提醒哦，在这个非限定的子句当中，我们不能够用关代 that， 因为呢 that 是不能接在逗号后方的。回到课文来呢，我们说到2024年的12月24日，白头海雕就获得了一个许多人以为他早就拥有的头衔。
So, Elsie, I'm one of those people that would have assumed the bald eagle received the national title already of being America's bird. I would have figured a long time ago, hundreds of years ago maybe, they officially recognized the bald eagle as America's symbol. But I guess not. And now it says it is now officially the national bird of the U.S.
Wow, not until 2024, December 24th.
Exactly. That's not that long ago, and it's been that long. That's so strange. Well, officially, it is now the bird of the U.S. And there, everyone, we see that word, officially, which is an adverb. It's something is done in a formal way or approved by an authority. So an example would be, the new library was officially opened by the mayor at a special ceremony last weekend.
Officially 这个副词是正式的，所以后面可以搭配一些动词，比如说 officially start, officially open， 或者是 officially end， 好，那就是正式开始啦，开幕或是结束。再给同学们一个例句咯， The store officially opens next Monday， 这家店下周一会正式开幕。所以课文说到白头海雕 The bald eagle，它现在正式成为美国的国鸟。
All right, so now it says the bald eagle has been on the Great Seal of the United States since 1782. It also appears on important documents, coins, and even military insignia. And there, everyone, we see the word military. In this sentence, it's an adjective. It's related to soldiers, armies, war, or defense forces, especially involving their activities, duties, or equipment. Now, an example sentence, we could say, my uncle received military training before becoming a pilot in the Air Force.
Military 这个形容词是军事的 ，military training 那就是军事训练 ，military service 那就是兵役。所以如果你说 serve military service， 那就是服兵役。Military base 指的是军事基地。那另外我们还看到了 document 这个名词是正式的或是官方的文件。Insignia 这个名词代表的是组织的标志啦、符号，它这个名词是单复数同形的哦。所以课文说到，自1782年以来，白头海雕就出现在美国国玺上，也出现在重要文件、硬币甚至军队的徽章之上。That's why we all assumed that it was the national bird already.
Exactly. But let's not forget, let's rewind maybe 100 years or 200 years back. Maybe everyone didn't think that the bald eagle was the best bird or the best animal to represent the United States. I wonder what animals or other things that they might have thought of. And actually, our article says, interestingly, Benjamin Franklin, who is known as one of the U.S.'s founding fathers, did not support the choice. There we see the phrase, be verb known as something, and that is to have a particular name, title, or identity that many people recognize. An example sentence using this phrase would be, Taipei 101 is known as one of the tallest buildings in the world.
Be known as something 那就是被称作点点点。那在这个句子当中呢，我们看到 Who is known as one of the U.S.'s founding fathers 这个部分是非限定的关系子句，用来补充说明到底 Benjamin Franklin 是谁。 所以课文说啊，有趣的是，美国开国元勋之一的 Benjamin Franklin 他并不支持这个选择哦 So he didn't like the bird?
Yeah, I wonder why he was against the bird. What is he got a problem with the bald eagle? Well, let's find out. It says, Franklin thought the bald eagle had a bad character because he described it as a lazy bird that steals food from other animals.
Benjamin Franklin 他认为白头海雕的品格不好，个性不好，因为呢，他形容这个海雕是一种懒惰，然后还会偷其他动物食物的鸟。
Yeah, I would have never guessed or thought for a million years that the bald eagle was a lazy bird. You always identify it with strength and power, right? But maybe not to him. And it says, however, most Americans see it as a sign of freedom and bravery. And there, everyone, we see the noun bravery. And it's the quality of being brave, courage shown when facing danger, fear, or difficulty. An example using the word brave or bravery, we could say, the girl showed great bravery when she saved her little brother who had accidentally fallen into the river.
Bravery 这个名词是勇气，我们可以用 courage 这个名词来说。那形容词的话呢，你要形容一个人是勇敢的，我们可以用 brave 或是 courageous。好，这两个形容词都是可以的。那课文说到呢，然而大多数的美国人将它，也就是白头海雕，视为自由跟勇敢的象征。
But even though we see him as brave now, it says, at one point, the bald eagle was almost extinct. And there we see the phrase, everyone, at one point, which means at a particular moment or period of time in the past. An example, we could say, at one point, I wanted to become a soccer player, but now I prefer basketball.At
one point 这个片语是一度，好，可以带出你一度觉得的事情，认为的事情是什么。那另外呢，形容词 extinct 它是灭绝的，绝种的。所以说啊，有一段时间白头海雕几乎是绝种的。
Continuing, it says, in 1940, the U.S. passed a law to protect the creature and the population started to recover. And there we see the word creature, which is a noun.It's a living animal or being, usually not human. An example would be, scientists keep finding interesting creatures deep in the ocean, and many of them were not known before.
Creature 这个名词是生物 ，living creatures 那就是活的生物。那如果是海洋生物的话，可以说 sea creatures。Wild creatures 指的就是野生的动物、野生的生物。那1940年，美国通过了一项保护这类动物的法律，它的数量才开始恢复。
And they really do this. They really do protect this creature, this bald eagle, because in the United States, if you shoot a bald eagle, do you know how much money you have to pay?
如果射杀白头海雕
You have to pay $250,000 US dollars or go to jail for 2 years.
要付25万的罚金，不然就是去 jail 去被关。How many years you said?
2 years.
2年。Okay.
So if you go out actively hunting for one, that's a no-no. But maybe if you shoot one by accident, then it's not too bad.
所以这样罚金是大概600万台币 like 6 million, more than 6 million.
So you never try to shoot one of those birds.All right, well, getting back, it says, everyone, today, tens of thousands of bald eagles live across the country. As the national bird, it now proudly represents the spirit of the U.S. And there we see the verb represent, which means to stand for or mean something, or to act or speak officially for a group or person. An example would be, the red color in our national flag represents courage and bravery.Represent
是代表，是象征，是个动词。那我们可以说某个人 represent a country or a team， 那就是代表一个国家或是一个队伍。所以呢，再给同学们一个例句咯。He was chosen to represent Taiwan at the event. 他被选中代表台湾参加那一场活动。好啦，那我们今天的这个 warm-up quiz 题目是 Tina was chosen to blank our school at the art show.Tina 被选中代表我们的学校参加美术展。那我们的选项分别有 A. Invite 邀请 B. Represent 代表象征 C. Provide 提供 D. Select 选择，所以我们就知道正确答案就是 B 选项 Represent。 所以最后课文说到如今数以万计的白头海雕生活在美国各地，作为国鸟，它现在骄傲地代表美国的精神。各位同学们喜欢今天的节目吗？赶快按赞追踪我们的 YouTube channel 还有 Facebook， 不要忘记开启小铃铛，掌握第一手的英文学习内容哦。
All right, well, welcome to our For You chat question, everyone. Now, we know the American bald eagle or the bald eagle represents America. Now, our question would be, imagine you can choose an animal to represent Taiwan. What would it be and why?
Oh, let me think about it. Okay, the animal I would choose to represent Taiwan is 台湾蓝雀. I believe the English is the Taiwan blue magpie.
Nani? What's that?
It's a kind of bird.
Oh, okay.
And because it has such beautiful colors, and it's highly social,
Okay.
and this kind of bird, they always help their families, just like Taiwanese people who care about their communities.
Oh, I like that idea. Okay. Well, the animal I would choose to represent Taiwan is the Formosan black bear because it really shows strength, courage, and the ability to face tough situations.
台湾黑熊.
Yeah, just like how Taiwan does. With that cool white V-shaped mark on its chest, it's something only found here in Taiwan, which, makes it really special. So I think that would be my choice to represent Taiwan.
Cool.
Well, everyone, that's all the time we have today. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
Vocabulary Review.
Assume. I assumed that Marvin was rich because he always wears nice clothes. I didn't know he has little money. Officially. The event will officially begin at 10 a.m., but people are welcome to arrive earlier. Military. The soldiers will be sent to a military base on Kinmen Island for army training. Bravery. The fireman showed bravery when he ran into the burning house to save the child. Creature. This forest has a number of creatures, such as black bears and foxes. Represent. The blue man sign on the door represents that it's the men's restroom.
字彙小补帖
Document. Insignia. Extinct.